This is CES MMA.
Here is our Souza Tequila tail of the tape in the bantamweight division. RICO DISCIULLO from Peabody, Mass, fighting out of Sityodtong. He is 1-0 with one knockout, taking on Findlay, Ohio's Jordan Espinosa. He comes in at 3-2. Let's send it down to Adam Palazzo for the official introduction.
This is the Souza Tequila bout of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 135.5 pounds, with a professional record of 3 wins, 2 losses, with all 3 wins coming by way of submission. Hailing from Findlay, Ohio, Jordan Espinosa. Fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 135.5 pounds, with a professional record of 1 win, and that 1 win coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Peabody, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, RICO DISCIULLO.
Once again, we are cage side at Twin River Casino. Mike Parenti joined by Matt Bissett, and we are in the bantamweight division. RICO DISCIULLO, another Bellator veteran as yourself, Matt, taking on Jordan Espinosa. Round number 1 underway. Espinosa in the black trunks with the American flag, DISCIULLO in the red and black. And you are very familiar with DISCIULLO, obviously, having been on the tour with him at Bellator. What can you tell us about him?
I can tell you that he's a very fast-paced fighter. He looks to hurt you early, stay on you. He's going to look to keep this standing. He's got a ton of power in his hands. He's going to look to put one of those right hands on Jordan's jaw.
Both fighters looking ready to jump.
Nice leg kick. Very nice.
DISCIULLO 1-0 with 1 knockout. Won his pro debut, then suffered an unfortunate no contest that you actually witnessed. You were on that same card at Bellator.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. He was going in for the finish, and his opponent put his hand down on the mat, and he ended up catching a knee.
Ended up being ruled a knee to the grounded fighter.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. You know, and that's something I think that needs to be changed in the rules. But for now, that's something we got to live with.
Certainly a lot of gray area indeed. 1 minute here into this opening round. Nice sprawl by DISCIULLO.
Very nice sprawl.
Espinosa went in for that takedown. Yeah. Now Espinosa trying to drive those knees to the midsection.
I think that's going to be Jordan's key to victory here. Once he can get to the ground, he's got 5 fights, 5 professional fights. All 5 have been submission. He's got 3 victories by submission, 2 losses by submission. He's going right now, he's going for the Bravo choke. And RICO smartly goes to his back. That's how you get out of that choke. If he tries to turtle up, then that's how he's going to get in the choke.
Espinosa 3-2 overall, but has lost 2 of his last 3 fighting in Ohio on the Midwest circuit.
Right now, RICO's got to get his hands inside. Oh, he's back to his feet. Very nice. Nice scramble.
Nice job indeed by DISCIULLO to get back to his feet. 3 minutes to go in round 1. Both fighters back in the center of the cage, and Espinosa dives in again. Another nice sprawl by DISCIULLO, Matt.
It looked like, oh, that's a knee to a down opponent. His knee is down.
Deja vu again for DISCIULLO. While Espinosa was on the ground, DISCIULLO delivered that knee. And now what you have to watch out for is if he can't continue, it ends up being another no contest. So.
Yeah, something like that's really frustrating for both fighters. I mean, a guy doesn't want to go out there and perform an illegal act like that, and you don't want to be on the opposite side of that either. So it looks like he's opening his eye right now, and Jordan's probably going to be good in a couple minutes.
You know, and it's most certainly inadvertent, Matt. Both fighters are moving so fast, the action's so fast-paced, it's hard to tell exactly when your opponent's a grounded fighter. You're just working to deliver that knee. You're trying to execute. It's tough sometimes to separate. Here's the replay. And really from DISCIULLO's angle, he doesn't have his head turned that way. He can't see that Espinosa's left knee is on the ground. All he can do is assume he's up on both feet. You have to keep fighting until that bell. So that's what fighters are taught. Doctor took a quick look at Espinosa, deemed he's okay. Espinosa says he's okay.
Looks like the ref just took a point from RICO, though. That's going to hurt him.
That could certainly hurt if this fight does go the distance. DISCIULLO comes firing out of the break.
So now even if RICO wins this one 10-9, it's still going to be a 9-9 round.
It becomes a 9-9 round, and then you open up the rare possibility of a draw. which almost never happens in mixed martial arts. 2.5 to go in round number 1. RICO DISCIULLO in the red and black trunks. Jordan Espinosa in the American flag with the black trim. Mike Parenti joined by Matt Bissett live from CES MMA 23. DISCIULLO just spins and tosses Espinosa into the cage.
Espinosa does not want to be here right now. Rico's got a ton of power, like I said.
It looked like DISCIULLO was trying to take his back momentarily. Espinosa flipped back over. Now he's on his back. Not much better spot to be in, Matt.
No, definitely not.
And here comes that ground and pound if he can at least get down and gain mount control here. 2 minutes to go in round 1.
And even being in this open guard position, Rico's got long arms. He's able to hit him from that standing position there.
That 5'8" reach can definitely be an advantage for DISCIULLO at this point. He's got about 2 inches of height on Espinosa. Back down to the ground again, trying to unload. Short elbows and hammer fists.
Rico's got a choke attempt here. I wonder if he's going to go for it.
Plenty of time to go, 1.5 in round 1. Nice knee on the way up by Espinosa, but DISCIULLO takes him right back down. A lot of action here in this opening round, which you would expect in the bantamweight division for sure.
Yeah, usually the lighter guys can keep going and going and going. There's not much muscle to hold them back.
DISCIULLO again trying to unload.
Falling back for a foot lock. Oh, he's back on top. It just slipped out.
I wonder at this point if he'll let him back to his feet or if he's going to try to go in again.
I think Rico is smart to stay here. Outpoint him here, kicking, stay standing, throw those big shots from that open guard position, try to get this back to a 9-9 round.
It's a very good point. He does need that extra point to get back and at least even it up. DISCIULLO just showing sheer athleticism, almost windmilling over the top of Espinosa. And again, the two flip. 30 seconds to go in round 1. Not a dull moment in this opening round, Matt. It's been as good as advertised here in the bantamweight division. Big step up fight rather for DISCIULLO, taking on a 3-2 fighter with almost five times as many fights as he has at this stage in his career. It says a lot about his pride, no doubt about that.
Yeah, if you look at his amateur record, though, he's fought a ton of guys. He's fought a who's who around here. He's fought guys like Kin Moy and, you know,
Matt Doherty twice, who we'll see later on tonight.
Yeah, and those guys are killers. So, you know, he's been in the cage with some of the best around here. And now he's looking to take it along the other side of the country here.
Round number 1 in the books. RICO DISCIULLO did have a point taken away, so it'll be interesting to see how it's scored if we go to the scorecards. Let's listen into RICO DISCIULLO's corner right now.
You are in full control right now, RICO. Slow down. Okay? Yep. Even with the point, we're okay.
You're tied right now.
It's 9-9. That round was 9-9.
You gotta stay low and long and just touch him. You know you can't tie, but you gotta pass the guard in a secure position. Don't just worry about punching. Secure position, then he'll give you a submission, okay?
RICO, this kid's beat. Look over at him. He's already beat, bro. I see it in his face, RICO. Tight hands. He's already beat. Don't go out there with your hands flying. Tight hands. Touch him with your hands and be smart. Control yourself. You don't need to foul this kid. You don't need to take chances. Relax, bro.
In our opening bout tonight, we saw that same corner, the Sit-Yatong crew, Mark Delagrati, John Johnston, Tyson Chartier, successfully guide Brandon Shannon to victory. In between rounds here, Matt, you heard them say to RICO DISCIULLO, just slow it down, you're in good shape, and even with that point, it's probably a 9-9 round.
Yeah, in my book, it's definitely a 9-9 round, too. And his corner tell him to come out, don't swing for the fences, because he's already gassed. He just needs to touch him. They said, just come out, just touch him with your hands, and that's a smart cornering.
Round number 2 underway. Espinosa loses his footing momentarily, back down to the canvas.
RICO's getting a little creative there, elbowing the shins.
You heard his corner again between rounds telling him to slow it down, control the pace of the fight. Sometimes the young fighter thinking he has that point taken away, he might not know where he stands. It's up to the corner to kind of tell him where he stands to get him back, at least get his head back in the game. The referee stands both fighters back up, so we're back toward the center of the cage. Espinosa again, the nice sprawl by RICO DISCIULLO on that takedown attempt. He's done a great job stuffing him the entire fight, Matt.
Yeah, he really has. He's shown that he's got really nice defensive wrestling in this fight.
That takedown defense just as important as the ability to score a takedown. This time Espinosa does get it. But that sheer athleticism again as he flips him back over.
RICO went right for the sweep right away, using his momentum to try to get on top. But Jordan was able to stay on top with that. It was very nice. Good hips.
Now Espinosa with control here in round number 2. 3.5 to go. We are in the bantamweight division. Mike Parenti joined by Matt Bissett. CES MMA 23 from Twin River Casino.
He's looking for that darts choke again. This could be dangerous. He's got a couple wins by this.
Yeah, we'll see if Espinosa can go to the tool of the trade here. And again, a lot of time, DISCIULLO trying to punch his way out of it. Referee warning him about punching to the back of the head. DISCIULLO sprawls out, gets right back to his feet. Great job. Espinosa almost walked into a right hand trying that flying knee. And again, the sprawl by DISCIULLO, stuffs the takedown.
Peruvian necktie, he may have this. He's in a great position right now. He may have this. It depends on what his hands are like. Oh, he let go. He probably didn't have the grip correctly. His legs were in the right position. He was off to the side. But he probably didn't have the grip correctly.
And with that left side exposed, that right side rather, you see DISCIULLO driving the elbows into the rib cage. Those will definitely break you down over the course of a fight. And another right elbow.
He's got to keep unloading. He's got to keep unloading right here. Espinosa's not looking to get up. He can just tee off with these elbows.
And now he takes his back again, trying to, again, nice elbows and right hands. Espinosa just covering up at this point. Matt, if he lets his hands go, he might be able to get a stoppage if Espinosa is not defending himself.
I think you're absolutely right, Mike.
I'm surprised you don't hear the corner. You see John Johnson in the corner, the whole sit-your-tongue crew. I'm surprised they're not telling him just to let it go. You have a minute and a half. Maybe in another 10 seconds or so, empty the tank and try to finish the fight.
Completely agree.
Espinosa really not doing much here. Right, and not doing much to get on his feet. DISCIULLO trying to get a little bit more aggressive. Here's corner telling him to get that left heel in. Espinosa trying to turn over, trying to sprawl out and get back to his feet. Pops up for a brief second, and there are those elbows again to the ribcage. He's delivered about a good 9 or 10. There's another one.
Espinosa does not like those elbows. RICO's got to keep delivering those.
And he's mixing it up too, doing a nice job going upstairs, going into the midsection. Not letting Espinosa get too comfortable. Big left hand, big left hook underneath. And he's landing clean here too, Matt. 44 seconds to go.
Just like you said, I think he should go for broke right here.
Here it is, 30 seconds, Matt.
He's probably got plenty of gas tank. He's been delivering the shots, not taking the shots. He's got plenty of gas tank. He should just unload.
Not a bad idea.
If he doesn't finish here, then he'll send Espinosa back to his corner hurting and more tired.
And probably on the wrong end of a 10-9 round if we've been scoring it the same way. And now here he goes a bit, letting his hands go in the final 15 seconds. Referee poised, looking on, making sure Espinosa's at least defending himself. Elbows again raining down. And that'll do it. So Espinosa survives. RICO DISCIULLO, a strong round number 2. Both fighters taking their time getting to their feet. That was an exhausting round. It was exhausting just to watch it. I can imagine what it's like on the other end. We'll see what the corner for RICO DISCIULLO has to say here heading into round number 3. Or for at least a minute here, we'll take a look and listen at what Jordan Espinosa's corner is saying going into round 3.
You come out early in this round, explode through, get that takedown, and hey, you have to hold north-south position the whole round, all right? Hey, it's if you win this round, it's going to be a draw, all right? Hey, don't look for that darts, all right? It's not there. He's tall and he's long, he defends it well, all right, Jordan? Hey, when you get your north-south position, just sit your bicep in his throat, and then sit that chest on the ground and just and squeeze it out. He'll end up giving it up if you hold it the whole round, all right? He can only hold his breath so long. You're getting right in that north-south position. You're just forcing the darts.
Let's go.
Hey, let's go. Be smart.
Matt, you mentioned how Espinosa was looking for that darts choke. His corner tells him, don't go for it. It's not there. You're not going to get it. And wisely telling him you need to win this round to at least force a draw, at the very least, If not, he's going to have to finish the fight to try to win it. Right now, DISCIULLO appears to be up 1 round based on what happened in round 1 with the point deduction. Here we are, round number 3. RICO DISCIULLO, Jordan Espinosa. It's been a great bout thus far here in the bantamweight division. I am Mike Parenti, joined by Matt Bissett. And we are live from CES MMA 23. Matt, if you're Jordan Espinosa, you know you're down a round. What you tried in round 2 doesn't work. What's your approach coming into this final round?
You know what? I think he listens to his corner. He's got to take that top position and try to get a draw here. You know, right away he's on his back. If you looked at his body language, that's one of the things I noticed right away. His body language, his shoulders were hunched forward, his head was down. He was just kind of shaking his head to his corner. He wasn't really listening. He's very tired right now. He doesn't want to pop right back up.
That's what Tyson Chartier in RICO DISCIULLO's corner said after round 1. He goes, he's beat already. I'm looking at it. I can see it in his eyes from across the cage. And you mentioned the same thing after round number 2. That body language not promising for Jordan Espinosa. Espinosa may look comfortable in his back here, but he certainly can't win the fight or at least get a draw from this position. And RICO DISCIULLO certainly would be comfortable keeping it here the entire time if he has to. We'll see what his approach is, if he's going to let him get back to his feet or if he stays here. Is it too early in the round? And here we go, they stand him up at this point. If they hadn't stood them back up, would you have stayed in that spot or would you have let the opponent get back up?
I think I'm RICO right there. And you know what? If my punches weren't hurting him, my submissions weren't, my jiu-jitsu game wasn't, you know, threatening into a finish, I think what I do is I stand over guard and throw some shots there, maybe look to get some points on the clock, maybe in half guard or full guard, and threaten that way. Beat the clock. Win the fight with the clock. We got a takedown in Espinosa here.
Espinosa does get the takedown this time. I was just about to mention how RICO had sprawled out of another takedown attempt in the interim, but this time Espinosa does get him down and now gets his back to the cage. This is where Espinosa has to go to work, man. He's got 3 minutes, has to win this round to at least force a draw and not come out here with a loss.
Despite what his corner says, he's now going for the Bravo choke again. But RICO goes to his back. That's how you defend that, ladies and gentlemen. You go to your back.
And that's exactly what he did in the previous rounds when Espinosa tried the same submission hold, went right to his back.
RICO's going to have to try to spin out to the left side, get back to his knees exactly like that. Get on top of this front headlock. Very nice.
Perfectly executed. Yes, absolutely. A great scramble by RICO DISCIULLO. Gets back to his feet. 2.5 to go in the fight. RICO DISCIULLO and Jordan Espinosa in the bantamweight division. Try a spinning back kick, nothing doing. This round hasn't been too decisive one way or another yet, man. I'm surprised there's not more aggression here because this could really swing this fight these last 2 minutes right here.
Absolutely, 100%. I completely agree. This is a second takedown now for Espinosa this round. He hasn't done much with it, but he's controlling from this position. He's eating a couple elbows from RICO here, but you know what? This top position looks good in the MMA judges' eyes.
That's absolutely right. That's a very good point. The judges
He has a triangle here, though.
The judges do score those takedowns big, and he's had 2 in this round.
If RICO can just get that arm across, this may be very tight. If he pushes on his knee and cinches this up a little bit more and closes off that space. See how his right shoulder is showing right now? What RICO needs to do is close off that space right there.
Interesting analysis. DISCIULLO might have the possibility of a triangle choke here with 1:19 to go in the fight. At the very least, he's throwing fists, elbows, and all sorts of combinations to keep himself busy and just score points at this point because he probably knows he just got taken down for the second time and has to stay busy here. This last minute right here could be what decides this fight, whether it's a draw or a win for RICO DISCIULLO. Big spot right here for both fighters.
This is not RICO's first triangle choke. Clearly, he's trying to get that angle, just like I said, and close off that space with that right shoulder. He's going to try to underhook the leg or the arm on the left side of Espinosa, if he can. For now, he's happy to feed those elbows, though.
Exactly, and you see Tyson
that's tighter.
Chartier.
Look, let's see how his shoulder is gone. This is much tighter now.
Can Espinosa hold on for another 30 seconds? That's the question. And again, like you said, those elbows, he continues to stay busy and active with the elbows. 25 seconds to go in the fight. DISCIULLO in a good spot here.
The way this triangle's been going, it doesn't look like he's going to finish right here. So if he finishes off this 10 seconds with some big elbows, win it in the judges' eyes, I think we get another 10-9 round for RICO.
I think so too. I think this last minute and a half may have been enough for RICO DISCIULLO to hang on, not only win this round and win the fight. That will do it. The final bell sounds. Action-packed from start to finish here in the bantamweight division between RICO DISCIULLO and Jordan Espinosa. And despite the point deduction by RICO DISCIULLO in the opening round, it appears he has done enough to win this fight by winning those last 2 rounds, and of course by winning the opening round as well. If he had been down by 2 points, that would have been a much tougher hill to climb in those last 2 rounds. You don't get as many rounds in mixed martial arts as you do in boxing to make up a point deduction, so it can certainly be tough. But a great fight, Matt, and what we really come to expect in that bantamweight weight class.
Absolutely. I love watching RICO fight. I love watching these 135ers go at it. They're just constantly fighting from bell to bell, and that's what you want to see as a fan.
And I'll tell you what, those final 2 minutes, it really seemed like it was in the balance at some point. Both fighters were in the center of the cage, and whoever made that last great move was probably going to win that fight. If Jordan Espinosa could have done something with that second takedown, maybe he is on the other side of the 10-9 round here in the third, and we get a draw. But with RICO DISCIULLO's efforts trying to get that triangle choke, and like you point out, the elbows and the fists just staying busy, I think he may have eked this one out and gets the win here. So it's going to be interesting to see how they score it. But that's what the judges' job is for, and that's why I'm glad I'm not there ringside doing that job. I'd rather be up here talking about what they have to go through. Sometimes these fights are definitely difficult to score. And again, it depends on the style and the prerogative of a judge. Some judges enjoy strikers more. Some judges know how to spot great takedowns and know how to judge them and score them accordingly.
Absolutely, and sometimes it depends on where you're sitting. If the guy's all the way across the cage, sometimes you can't see those short little shots.
That's true. It's a lot tougher in mixed martial arts. Once they get down into the canvas, your vantage point's cut off. You don't see or get a clear view of the action at all times. All factors that go into judging, which is certainly one of the hardest jobs in this sport. But a great fight. You see both fighters in the cage just exhausted after this one. And of course they would be. 3 5-minute rounds and all action, really no lulls in the action whatsoever. Even when both fighters were on the canvas, they were active in doing something. You saw classic chess match jiu-jitsu at times from both fighters. Just a great fight from start to finish, and a great job by CES matchmaker Pat Sullivan, again, putting together a great fight.
Espinosa is happy to sit down wherever he is. I would be too.
And it certainly looked like he was exhausted after that opening round. RICO DISCIULLO's corner spotted that. Tyson Chartier spotted it. You spotted it after round number 2. You saw the look in his eyes and his body language. So certainly something at play there. Right now we'll send it down to our cage announcer, Adam Palazzo, for the official decision.
After 3 tough rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Brian Miner scores it 29-26. Judge Michael Cordero scores it 29-27. Judge Nick Mahood scores it 29-26. And your winner by unanimous decision, RICO DISCIULLO.